So I'm here with Mark3D and their Mark II 3D printer. So when you first announced the Markforged 1, there were a lot of doubters that were questioning that printing with a continuous carbon fiber would even be possible. So can you give us a quick rundown of how the machine works and how you can actually print with a long continuous carbon fiber?
I fully agree and can understand that people have a lot of doubt. What we have done in our design and development department in the US, we have asked ourselves, how can we do it that we print 3D printed parts which is strength of metal, close to metal, or at least aluminum. And the solution is that we use a combination of different materials. Also, our basic material is always a nylon, and in connection with that, we use carbon fiber, we use glass fiber, we use Kevlar fiber as a continuous fiber. So that means each layer we print, where we add the fiber, we cut the fiber and have one continuous fiber per layer. In order to get the connection between the fiber and the plastic, we have made a coat around the fiber, because I cannot melt the fiber, but when I put the fiber filament through the nozzles, then I heat up the cover which I have around the fiber, and through that melted plastic cover I get that connection between the fiber and the plastic.
So where do you see the killer application for this type of nylon reinforced material?
Everywhere where I need very strong, very stiff parts. Look, if you do make a prototype where you want to test the function of the prototype, or in many cases you cannot use simple ABS or PLA because you don't have the stability. So what is the option? The option is you go to your colleague in the shop and ask him to mill or to machine your part on the milling machine or turning machine. It costs you a lot of time, costs you a lot of money. But when you use reinforced fiber, you can print that part with the same strength like you have when you machine the part, and then you can use your functional prototype overnight. Another application is small series, where you want to produce 2 or 3 different parts, but it does not make sense costs a lot of money in order to turn the machine on, the milling machine. It's much cheaper and faster to let the 3D printer produce a part overnight.
So you've been talking about the added strength of the part. So how much more strength and stiffness can we expect from a carbon fiber infused parts? And what about the stiffness between the layers?
Well, we have layer by layer technology, and therefore I'm focused in order to get the strength and the stiffness on each layer. So this is direction X, Y. But if I need more in the Z direction, I have actually the possibility that I put a carbon fiber in each layer. Maybe I do not fill up the layer fully in order not to waste carbon fiber, but when I put in each layer carbon fiber, I get automatically a much higher strength in the Z direction as well.
And how much of a strength and stiffness gain are we looking at here?
Based on our investigations we made, we have a strength and stiffness which is around 24, 27, up to 30 times stronger than ABS plastic.
So you recently announced the Markforged 2, which we have right here. What changed when compared to the Markforged 1?
2 or actually 3 major things. First, we had the problem with the Mark I that we were limited regarding small parts, because we needed always a length of 610 millimeters of the minimum length of the carbon fiber. Therefore, I could not produce extremely small parts with reinforced fiber. We have changed this because we placed the cutting unit closer to the printing head, and therefore I need now only 40 millimeters carbon fiber. The second change that we did is we produce now 40% faster the carbon fiber than with the Mark I. And the third change we have done with the Mark II is that we have added a new system which we call Mark II Enterprise. And the Mark II Enterprise is the same basic machine, but it can use a third fiber, namely a high temperature glass fiber, which has a temperature that goes up till 140 degrees.
That's pretty amazing. Okay, so thank you. That's a quick update on the Markforged line of machines, so stay tuned for more updates from the FabCon3D.